Tennessee Representative Tim Burchett said there's no way to fix gun violence after a shooter killed 3 children and 3 adults at an elementary school in his home state on Monday. It's a horrible, horrible situation, Burchett told the reporters, and we're not going to fix it. Criminals are going to be criminals. My daddy fought in the Second World War, fought in the Pacific, fought the Japanese, and he told me, buddy, if somebody wants to take you out and doesn't mind losing their life, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it, he added. Burchett also said he doesn't see any real role for Congress to play in reducing gun violence other than to mess things up. I don't think you're going to stop the gun violence, the congressman said. I think you got to change people's hearts. When asked about how to protect children like his own daughter while in school, Burchett said he has opted to homeschool his daughter, a 28-year-old former student of the Covenant School, a private Christian elementary school in Nashville, shot and killed 3 9-year-old children and 3 staff members on Monday before being killed by police. There have been 13 school shootings thus far in 2023, which have resulted in the deaths of 6 students and 4 adults. So we know how the saga goes when it comes to gun violence in America. There's some shooting and it kills some number of people, and the politicians respond to it if it even happens to make the news, because a lot of them go underreported or are completely undiscussed. And the Democrats scream that they want something to be done. The Republicans start talking about mental health because they don't ever want to address the actual root of the issue, which is the easy access that people have to guns. And that's pretty much what's happening here. He says that you have to change people's hearts. What does that even mean? I mean, when he says this, he's not proposing, because we've talked about this before. Every time they start, speaking about the personality of the shooter and their mindset or whatever, they don't actually try to propose something that has to do with mental health. So it's really just them trying to deflect from addressing an issue by bringing up another issue that they're not going to actually do any, invest any time in, solving. And he gives this anecdotal story about his dad fighting in World War II and telling him that if someone wants to take you out and doesn't mind losing their life, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it. Well, first of all, what do politicians do when they feel as if their life is under threat? They get security guards. They have events where if you try to get in, they have people that pat you down. So there's plenty of stuff that people who feel like their life is in danger and have the resources to protect themselves do to protect themselves. So this idea that you're just like a sitting duck if someone wants to do something to you is complete garbage. And he says Congress, he doesn't see a real role for them to play other than to mess things up. Well, yeah, I agree with that. They have messed things up, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't play a role. The purpose of Congress and of government is to assist the people, is to address problems affecting the population. And when you have a mass shooting every single day, your elected officials should do something about it. He's opted to homeschool his daughter. So what's the moral of this story? If you have a child, you have to homeschool them, or else they face the possibility of some crazy person coming to their school and shooting them. Is that what every parent is supposed to do? Just quit whatever other commitments you have and homeschool your kid Monday through Friday? And like I said, this isn't some random commentator on YouTube or any other website. This is a member of the House who's telling you, we're not going to do anything about this. My dad told me that if someone wants to take you out and doesn't mind dying, then there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it. And I'm going to homeschool my daughter, which actually does mean that there is something I can do to protect her, but I'm going to pretend that there's absolutely nothing that can be done other than changing people's hearts, whatever that means. Just a sorry excuse for a politician. And really, what should happen is you should have conversations about banning assault-style guns, which I'll never understand why people need those. You should have conversations about passing some nationwide gun law that, if it gets passed in one state, it doesn't get completely ignored in other ones. But instead, what's going to occur, and has always happened, is you'll see a couple of days of people talking about this. Oh my God, all these children were killed. Da, da, da. Thoughts and prayers will probably be mentioned at some point, and then this will go completely ignored, not addressed until we get another mass shooting that catches similar attention, and the same cycle of inaction will repeat itself. And it's so sad because if the NRA didn't have the stranglehold over Republicans that it does, you could get those people to adhere to some basic gun laws, like some type of reform. But now we're in this stalemate where I'm not joking when I tell you, you could have 100 mass shootings a day and these people still wouldn't do anything about it. We've talked before about how America is 4% of the world's population, but we have almost half the guns. And this is the result of that. When you have an armed society with a lack of laws to actually protect the people from these very dangerous tools, you're going to keep seeing this happen. And the politicians who are themselves protected just and are financially benefiting from the lack of gun laws through the NRA really couldn't care less about our lives, unfortunately.